Hello there, I am Sienna Wright and you're watching the national news on Star Television Network on Channel 21 at Top Stories. 10 political parties have rebuked the decentralization policy proposed by the Ministry of Local Government, in which the policy espouses a non-partisan local administration.
We believe that democracy must start at the grassroots level. At that level, there will be accountability.
Guma Valley Water Company hands over $3.1 million for Mambo Community Water Supply Project to the BBC Construction Company in Freetown.
When we engineer and develop this project, we take it to your minister, we tell us we want to bring water and Mambo and Waterloo.
NACOVAC launches the International Airport Passengers COVID-19 Screening Digest at Lungi International Airport.
We are here today just to be able to observe that at critical moments like this, these are high-risk times. In our country is the period for unitude. People travel a lot.
As Rokel Commercial Bank commences their customer week on December 1st, 5 secondary schools in Falaba, Pujang, Kailan and Mongo have benefited from learning materials aimed at complementing the free quality education.
Today, I don't know which of Una Nayaso go want to be the president of Sierra Leone. I don't know which of Una Nayaso go want to be Dr. Nayaso. I don't know which of Una go be vice president. Which of Una go want to be managing director of this bank. We don't know nothing but that. So what do we know that to get for support Una, the young picking them, for like up, higher.
And in sports, Rodney Michael and 6 others cleared off match fixing following lengthy investigation. Those were the headlines. Well, it's now time we go in for the news in detail. 10 political parties have issued a letter rebuking the decentralization policy proposed by the Ministry of Local Government, in which the policy espouses a non-partisan local administration. These political parties are calling on the BO-led administration to abandon such policy, labeling it as an affront to multi-party democracy and a deliberate ploy by the government to entrench themselves in the local councils.
When reading the joint position statement, the presidential aspirant for the Unity Party, Femi Claudius Cole, pointed out that they were not consulted on the proposed decentralization policy spearheaded by the Ministry of Local Government, noting that having a non-partisan local administration is not acceptable, as it will lead to government wielding undue influence over local council. She added if this policy is passed into law, it will lead into one-party system.
We take this opportunity to hereby inform the general public and the international communities that 1. None of our political parties were informed or consulted with respect to the development of this national decentralization policy prior to the public announcement made by the said minister. 2. Furthermore, none of the undersigned political parties are in receipt of either a draft or the final copy of the national decentralization policy that the Minister of Local Government says has been approved by Cabinet. We consider it to be wholly unacceptable that our knowledge of the content of this critical policy is limited to key clauses outlined in the press statements made by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development and members of his review team, and in related statements circulated on social media.
The Secretary General of the APC, Ambassador Usman Fodeyansane, said that this policy will reverse our democratic gains, adding that the 1991 Constitution lays a clear path of multi-party democracy, furthering that this policy will eliminate grassroots politics completely.
Sierra Leone believe that democracy must start at the grassroots level. At that level, there will be accountability. At that level, it will be the people's choice In the local council, you can speak your local language. It is provided for in the Local Government Act. If you insist that WASP becomes a mandatory qualification for you to be a member of the local council, and a degree for you to become chairman of the council or mayor, this is anti the 1991 Constitution. It clearly states that if you can read and write, you can be a member of parliament.
The chairman of the National Unity and Reconciliation Party, Dr. Jonathan Sandy, said that a non-partisan local council will serve as a precursor to political violence.
One, we think on behalf of my party and the people of Sierra Leone and our supporters, we believe that it has legal implications because it is something that will trample on the supreme rule of law of this nation, the 1991 Constitution, because we think any public policy should complement the spirit of the 1991 Constitution. It is clear that the provisions to exclude local council, local government structures from national elections, including the local government election, is unconstitutional. So we stand by. We also believe that such a decentralization policy will directly lead potentially to political and election-related violence, in the sense that there's a direct link between decentralization policy that has to do with the political Public Election Act, which is undergoing revision now. So there is a direct implication that if the Public Election Act, Section 60, 61, 63, would make provision for political parties as responsible agents of change to manage the administration of candidate nomination process. If we exclude that, then and create a scope for that will lead to tension and we do not.
These political parties have also written to His Excellency, calling on him to have an engagement with them. As they say, the buck stops with him now to use his respectable position to put a halt to this policy. The parties that appended their signature to this letter include the All People's Congress Party, the National Grand Coalition, Coalition for Change, and 6 others. Compiled by Alfie Barrie, read in our studios by Hassan Koroma.
Guma Valley Water Company, with support from the Ministry of Finance, has launched and handed over $3.1 million to Mambo Community Water Supply Project to the BBC Construction Company on Tuesday, 8th December at Hill Valley Academy in the Western Area Rural. Alusine Bangura has more.
Giving the keynote address, the managing director of Guma Valley Water Company, Mada Espenge, said that President Bio is passionate in ensuring that every Sierra Leonean has access to safe drinking water, noting that the Mambo Community Water Supply Project is fully funded by the government of Sierra Leone under the led administration of President Bio. Director Penge added that the project will benefit close to 200 households in both Hamilton and Mambo communities.
Excellency, the President is very passionate about improving the lives of every Sierra Leonean. How it meets we, not to say we one level. So when we engineer and develop this project, we take her to your minister, we tell her, say, we want to bring water, and Mambo and Waterloo. It be very quick for support you. In back, take the same project to the Ministry of Finance. The Minister of Finance will be happy for support you. So now I make today with the full support of the government and with the full support of His Excellency the President. I could have mentioned 5,000 people, 200 households. That nobody not get water supply now this community from Guma. And the 2 main pipes are really supplying free time. They pass right through Mambo.
Engineer Francis Lahai, a representative from the Ministry of Finance, said that the Finance Ministry is fully supporting Guma in making sure that every household is connected to safe drinking water by 2023 as part of the government agenda, adding that they as a ministry have been giving a handy support to Guma Valley Water Company.
Is so concerned, but everybody, that nobody not going to be left out, not even Mambo. We picking them and the woman there a key focus because they get for go school, they get for take care of other things then. When water supply come to the community, we get expected that will save time. I see Madam Charity, they dance for that. They say for years they don't struggle. For years they get for go 1 kilometer for go get water. But now water they on a doorstep. This particular project what they launched today, now a project where it cost about 31 billion leones. You see, when you talk about billions of leones, you think it's not plenty money. But we also get for no say. Water supply very, very expensive. The pipes not import to the imports them. The pumping machines, the chemicals all they use, they're all not imported things there. So at the end of the day, for more green water canton, now plenty money. But the government of Saloon, represented by the Minister of Finance, Jacob Jusu Safar, very much committed for make allocations for the water industry and the water sector.
The community stakeholders expressed stream of excitement as they said the project is indeed timely and laudable. They assured Guma that they will embrace the project heavy-handedly, pointing out that this project will reduce the too many constraints the community have been going through over the years.
Today, close to the dam, they will not get access to the water. They suffer a lot. Me with me people, they suffer many years. From 1965, they suffer a long. We not get water. It affect we too much. We got picking them and woman them because like the stream we get is small. You know they will keep water. If it is do I see, you know they keep water. Where we see the car, they find out say the water not be good. At that time we they talk to Guma. You see because we get a lot of aid. Because we pick it with the sick, we have them the sick, we save the sick because we not be get pure water. Only we just see no more. If one drink Guma water, pass we go na tongue, we buy them.
It could be recalled that since his appointment as a managing director of Guma Valley Water Company, Mada Espenge intimated that he inherited a situation where staff capacity was very low, with a little or no utility vehicles meant for use. But the situation changed as a result of a direct support from government through the Ministry of Finance. For Star News in Freetown, Alusine Abubakar Bangura reporting.
If you're just joining us, this is the National News Bulletin File on Star Television Network on Channel 21. The National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center, NACOVAC, has on Tuesday, 8th December, launched the International Airport for Stages COVID-19 Screening Digest at the Lungi International Airport. This, according to officials from NACOVAC, is a carefully assessed protocol of the preventive measures simulated by NACOVAC upon arrival and departure. Adma Samai was in attendance and filed in this report.
The government of the Republic of Sierra Leone is making every effort to keep Sierra Leone safe and reduce the risks of COVID-19 transmission during this global pandemic. The National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center has set up the COVID-19 Screening Digest at the Lungi International Airport. The Deputy National Coordinator, NACOVAC, Sheku Bangura, said the visit was to observe that critical moments like this is at high risk, which this is the period people travel in and out of the country, and they want to ensure that whoever come in for holidays are protected and preserved. He explains more.
We are here today just to be able to observe that at critical moments like this, these are high risk times. In our country is the period for unitude. People travel a lot. And most of our compatriots try to come home. They've been living in difficult areas called high-risk countries or high-case environments. Now we want to ensure that whoever comes in on holidays, our gains that we have made so far are protected and preserved. So the systems that we put in place in the fight against COVID at the airport, which is the major gateway into the country, we want to be able to observe that those systems function very effectively. And that they are smooth and effective and efficient in ensuring that people come through the country going through the protocols which we have set up. and which we are jealously preserving and protecting. I think all the architecture that we have set in the fight against COVID, they manifest themselves right at the airport. We miss it here, permeates our society. And as Mr. Keller was saying, we want to be able to ensure that we can track and trace each and every strain that enters this country, because that's how it gets out of control. The fight is not over yet.
The general manager of the Sierra Leone Airport Authority, Jack Massacoy, expressed the timelessness of the visit and used the opportunity not only deliberate on the effectiveness of the system, but also relay on the challenges facing the overall operation of the airport, especially the need for the lab expansion and enhancement.
It's the only international airport we have. We have to preserve it and preserve our nation. Of course, there are some challenges along the way. Especially with the influx, one of the major challenges we are having now is the trolley service, the trolley, the baggage, because for now they have to hold on to the trolley for about 30-45 minutes because of the turnaround time of the rapid test. So their luggage stay on the trolley while maybe others are coming now that don't have trolley. So that's one major challenge we have as an airport authority that is of great concern. The operations manager and everybody are calling that we'll have to find a quick solution to fix that one. Of course, we have reached out to some of our business partners for trolleys to advertise on them, but we don't know how soon because we never foresee this kind of situation. We thought the trolleys were enough. We have over close to 200. But because of this kind of situation now, before you use the trolley, you come out, you drop it, somebody pick it up, we have personnel that are there for that, pick it up and take it in again. So assuming we have, I think you come with Brussels or Air France coming with Brussels, it's a major challenge. That's a challenge we are looking at. And also the lab. The lab, I'm not sure whether the personnel are not enough. But what we are seeing, maybe because I made the first wake-up call when Brussels started coming with 135, 145 passengers. I called, I think, Konekumba, that, hey, we have a problem. The earlier we open the lab and we maintain the existing facility, it will be better. But I'm telling you now, even that one, the faster we finish the additional container labs, I think that will ease the turnaround time.
The COVID-19 screening process is that after you've gone through the immigration, collected your luggage and clear customs, and then you go through the COVID-19 screening process, which is passport and payment check, health screening, and the COVID-19 test, which all visitors must comply with all the processes to be allowed entry. For Star TV News, I am Admaya Samai reporting.
As Local Commercial Bank commences their customer week on December 1st, the head of Corporate Affairs and Customer Service, Local Commercial Bank, Millicent Cole, has described the donation of learning materials to 5 secondary schools in Falaba, Pujang, Kailaun, and Mongo as a complement to the free quality education that is geared towards building the nation's human capital. Alusine Bangura has more.
The management of Local Commercial Bank, as part of their effort in building the nation's human capital and lend support to the free quality education initiated by President Bio-led administration, concluded a week-long distribution of school learning and enhanced educational materials to schools in Pujang, Kailaun, Mongo, and Falaba.
Today, I don't know which of Una Nayaso go want to be the president of Sierra Leone. I don't know which of Una Nayaso go want to be Dr. Nayaso. I don't know which of Una go be vice president. Which of Una go want to be managing director of this bank. We don't know nothing about that. So what do we know that we get for support Una, the young picking them, for Una up, higher, let tomorrow go lead this country for go before, and let Una go gladly say, the big one they left giving sound footing, so we say able for enough. And for them also remember the teacher them, the elders them, when they work with this community, for making like Una the picking them get a future. Because why? If we fail Una, we don't feel the future for tomorrow. If you fail Una, we don't feel the country. If you fail Una, we will hold you responsible for that day. So now for fail the younger one them. I believe for saying All must be praying also. The Muslim are reading prayer book, the Christian the prayer book. So all get God down hearts. So let me work hard, up to God, for let God say, push me, let go before. It's never will bring out today, they're symbolic. Alright? The manager within the Kenema, they ain't really lead we also. The man way himself, he get a very good vision for this place. As soon as they see the bank they grow, and I know say somebody must be here now. We will go all over the country, place by place by place by place. Because why? This na Salon Bank. We meet a Salon Bank, not only because of Salon owner, but because one foreign this bank rival with all the foreign banks when they come. Because when they come with their own sense. If we left Sudan and so they can't dominate we. They can't go begin for laugh, we say, Solomon is do nothing later. Solomon is backward, Solomon is lazy, Solomon is slow. And we know say we can be hardworking, we can be fast, we can be smart, we can be resilient, we can also go out there for making sure say we become a big focus, a big factor in West Africa. So for all what they are Sudan picking, I want to know. And I want for them, when I say this to me, say, I believe I can do it. I'm a proud Sierra Leonean. The future is in my hands. And together, we can make Sierra Leone great again. I want to say last part again strongly, loud. Say together, we can make Sierra Leone great again. If you believe what you talk about for yourself. What we're doing today is something we believe say will contribute to our education. Something will be able for use light for study. But what is in you, what's in the inside your head, now you get for make it grow on the good side more than on the bad side.
Speaking on the gesture, the Managing Director, Local Commercial Bank, Dr. Walton Gilpin, intimated that as part of the Local Commercial Bank's support towards education, the donated items will aid students in both the teaching and learning outcomes and called on students to remain steadfast in building their future. Dr. Walton Gilpin added that the donation is not just very timely, but shows a great responsibility from one of the most reliable financial institutions in Sierra Leone, pointing out that feeding represents a major pillar in the fight against COVID-19.
We are here simply just to support education. We know there are school-going pupils in this area, and as a bank, we operate in Kenema, which is very close to this area. And we also have a branch in Kailao. And we've been moving between Kenema and Kailao, and we noticed that there is a school here. And as part of our corporate social responsibility, we try to reach out to communities, not only communities in which we operate, in other areas. The present President Bio's government is in support of free quality education. But free quality education cannot go without a means of the children studying. So today, the Managing Director thought it fit to provide a means by which these little children, after school, can access their schoolwork and study. There is no national grid for electricity supply in this area. So we've come today to reach out to distribute solar lamps or lanterns which these kids can use at home to study. And also to provide a little bit of logistic for the schools. We want to let you know that we are happy to be here. This is the beginning of things to come. It may look small, but it is very big. Because these kids, when they grow up in the next 5 years, they will never forget the first lamp or solar light that they owned. Because we are going to give it out to them and they are going to own it. And we believe that it is going to aid them in their studies. And when they study, we expect them to do well in their schoolwork and in public examinations.
The head of the Corporate Affairs and Customer Services Local Commercial Bank, Millicent Cole, analyzed the obvious consequences of COVID-19 to the country's human resource base, as well as the economy, emphasizing that it is an invisible enemy and they, as a bank, stand with the government of Sierra Leone to eradicate this plague. The donated items include solar lanterns for early learners, slates, chalk, and crayons. For Star TV News in Freetown, compiled by Abdulrahman Kamara, read in our studios in Freetown by Alusine Abubakar Bangura.
And now to round up the news, let's turn our attention to sports. Rodney Michael and 6 others cleared of match fixing following lengthy investigation. So let's join our sports correspondent for more on this story.
The Sierra Leone Football Association Ethics Committee has delivered part of their report in the ongoing match-fixing allegation against 15 individuals within the sporting family. The Sierra Leone Football Association and the Ministry of Sport issued out a joint press release dated 15 July 2014, informing the general public about allegation of match-fixing and unpatriotic conduct resulting to indefinite suspension of 10 officials and 5 players. As a result of the above match-fixing, inquiry was set up to pursuant to Article 55 of the SLAFA Constitution dated 14 April 2012, and the said ad hoc committee was headed by retired Major Paulo Conte, an AIG Memona Jalo member, and Drusille Taylor, acting secretary, which extensively examined the body of evidence of which the allegations was predicated, culminating to a report. The Ethics Committee was empaneled on the 2nd of February 2020, pursuant to an extraordinary general meeting held by SLAFA Congress after successful integrity check were conducted by FIFA, with a mandate to investigate the adjudicated matters touching the concerning ethics and integrity in the management administration of the football in Sierra Leone. The Ethics Board, comprising of the following: Drusille Taylor, Chairman; Alhaji M. Kamara, Assistant Chairman; Alpha Bangura, Member; Abdullahi Ola Bangura, Member; Dr. Ise Thomas Macaulay, Member. According to the Chairman of the Sierra Leone Football Association Ethics Committee, Drusille Taylor, Esquire, said that having reviewed the evidence analyzed contained in the report affirmation of the said match-fixing allegation of the person affirmation, has come to the conclusion that there is not enough evidence to sustain the allegation made against the following persons of interest: Samuel Bale, Alpha Coker, Abdul Kanazi Rollins, Bernard Sobe, Victor Louis, Rodney Michael, and Ibrahim Kuruma. These persons are therefore unequivocally discharged of all allegations of the match-fixing allegations against them by the Ministry of Sport and the Sierra Leone Football Association. The above exonerated persons are invited to a meeting with the Ethics Board on the 11th December 2020, 5 p.m. at Suite Hotel. The committee has, however, decided to conduct a further investigation speedily on the following persons of interest: Abubakar Kabak, Christian Korka, Ibrahim Kagbo, Moisin Sano, Almami Toure, Naziruddin Othman, Abdul Kabir, Sheriff Newland, and Ansumana. The committee shall commence the proceedings shortly by giving the above-mentioned persons another opportunity to put up defense against the allegation made against them. For Star TV Sports, I am Isabella Stanley.
Well, that's all we have time for in the National News Bulletin file on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Sienna Wright. Thanks for watching, and do stay with us for more programs coming up.